NBA career has taken him from Chicago to Minnesota, Philly, Miami, and now San Francisco as one of the newest members of the Golden State Warriors. We're talking Jimmy Butler, or Jimmy Buckets, as he's often called. But the six-time NBA All-Star and Olympic gold medalist has another title that he wears just as proudly: coffee aficionado. Like with basketball, coffee has become a bit of a competition for Butler as a consumer and seller in the space with Big Face Coffee. Back in December, we paid a visit to his first store that was just about to open in Miami. And one thing was clear: no matter where he's playing basketball, for Butler, home is where the coffee is brewing.
Drive by Butler, shaking. Marshall.
He may be Jimmy Buckets on the court.
On the back down, Butler hits. He's got 18 points.
But Java Jimmy seems more appropriate here at Big Face, NBA star Jimmy Butler's very own coffee venture. We're making a cup of coffee with Butler.
So we want to take our, I already forgot what this is called. This
is a sport of its own. It doesn't screw up the amount. Teamwork.
I think it just screwed up the amount.
Some deserved trash talking. I think that was too
Way to mess it up. Wow.
A touch of schooling.
I don't know what this is called.
It's a squeezer.
Squeezer? Like a twirly twirl?
Condenser. I like twirly twirl. A burst of energy. What does it mean, like the rain on a bubble?
Yeah, the rain on
air in it. And a smooth finish.
Wow. Are you doing a unicorn?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yes.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you. So I heard you have not always been a coffee lover.
You heard through the grapevine.
I did hear through the grapevine. Not always a coffee lover. Butler's affinity for these roasted creations, unlike his love of basketball, took a bit of time to develop.
I just got to thinking and realizing how much people actually have in common with one another. If we can just sit down and have a cup of coffee and talk about, football, or what type of milk that you like in your coffee, how you drink it, and then I just started nerding out a little bit.
The draw was powerful enough for Butler to overcome one rather large obstacle: the taste of coffee.
Hated it.
Yeah.
Hated it.
Has it changed for you?
It has, but I hated it at first so much that I just dumped a ton of sugar in it to where it tasted like candy.
I can't imagine your trainer liked that.
Exactly. My trainer was like, "You can't drink a coffee like that," and I was like, "Yes, I can. It's my coffee. I can drink it however I want to." Now you fast forward, I can't have anything that has sugar in it. I don't want anything. I want to be able to taste and test if I can taste the notes in these coffees now.
Just how serious is he about his daily Java jolts? Butler's been known to even travel with his own barista. But that too, like the coffee he now enjoys, is a bit layered.
Rodney is his name. I don't think he's better than me at the barista skill set.
What would he say?
It doesn't matter what he says. We all have our own opinion.
That's true. And our own taste.
Yes. But he gets to see the world like I get to see the world. He gets to experience everything that I get to experience because I'm grateful for him for always showing up, never complaining about all the coffee that he has to make. And if I don't like it, he has to make another one. Plus, when I got a barista, I get to do barista brawls and throwdowns. Any coffee shop I'm going to, my guy versus your guy, right now, let's go. So
I love it.
Life isn't about competition, but if you get to throw competition in there every now and again, that's not bad.
No. Butler is no stranger to competition. A first-round pick in the 2011 draft by the Chicago Bulls. Now 14 seasons in, Butler's played for 5 teams.
Butler ahead of the pack. Jimmy Butler will take it down.
Traded to the Golden State Warriors a few weeks ago after ending a 5-year run in Miami, which included 2 NBA Finals appearances. It was with the Heat back in 2020 that news of Butler's coffee fervor first trickled out, with reports from the pandemic-created NBA bubble that Butler had a side gig, selling a cup of Joe for $20 a pop to his fellow basketball pros.
At first, honestly, trying to sell the coffee, I was just trying to hustle people out of their money, if we're being brutally honest. But for tax purposes,
that.
I won't tell you how much money I made. And then, it was just the beginning of something that was fun for me, something to do other than just basketball. When you're stuck in a hotel in the bubble for so long, you kind of go stir crazy thinking basketball. And I was like, you know what? Let me hone in on something else.
Something that didn't end when Butler emerged from the NBA bubble, getting competitive, if you will, in the coffee space. So you said you started nerding out. What does that mean in your terms?
In my terms, it means like actually studying up on where all the coffee comes from, all the different types of coffee, and then you get into like this many grams in, that much water out, all of that stuff. And then actually going to these coffee farms and hand picking the coffee myself. That's part of the nerding out process.
What did you see that was different when you got to those coffee farms that you wouldn't have known if you hadn't traveled
The
there?
people. No, seriously, the people and how hard they work and how this is their life. How people think basketball is my life, and I do it a lot, but it's not nearly as much of a time-consuming thing as it is with the coffee farmers. Like they're out there day in, day out, tracking all types of weather and making sure that everything's growing just right.
All fuel for Butler to launch his Big Face brand, which includes merchandise, coffee beans, even a coffee truck.
I wanted it to be a brand for everybody, something for everybody to drink, something for everybody to wear, something for everybody to drink out of.
Back in December, he opened his first brick-and-mortar Big Face in Miami's Design District. The launch drew stars from basketball and music, including Carmelo Anthony and DJ Khaled. But for Butler, opening the shop isn't about the rich and famous.
I get to come here, I get to be myself. While I'm in here, while I'm in this however square footage of a building that this is, I'm not a basketball player. I don't want to take pictures. I don't want to sign autographs. I want to talk coffee. I want to talk life. I want to be like everybody else while I'm in here.
And that pass from Draymond to Butler.
And while the 6'7", six-time NBA All-Star may never look like everyone else, when it comes to coffee, in some ways, he's just like your average Joe. Is this about money or is this about passion?
Passion. When you start doing stuff for money, I found out a long time ago, it never works. And it's never worth anything. With passion, all that other stuff will come. The money, the more coffee shops, the recognition in this coffee space and around the world. Definitely passion.
Obviously, you can see the passion, but I will point out, and we did have this discussion, the name, Big Face,
Yes.
money related. So when he was selling those $20 cups of coffee, his hope was the guys in the bubble would have their per diem money, might just have a $100 bill, the Big Face bills.
Right.
Give him 100, sorry, no change. He told me he still has yet to sell a cup of coffee.
That is
for
a
100.
smart strategy. And I saw on the whiteboard it had no IOU.
That's right.
He's serious about getting his
He is,
cash.
and he's actually very serious about wanting to see those people who are the coffee farmers getting more money for what the work that they are doing after seeing it so closely.
And I love that he shared with you that this was about getting something outside of basketball for him to himself to enjoy that he's kept up since the pandemic.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting, obviously the store's in Miami, he's been traded to San Francisco,
Right.
but he really has a passion for the people down there, and I wouldn't be surprised, see if the success is there in a brick and mortar, that you might see more coming up, but it's a passion he even shares with his kids were there that night because it was the opening, and he said, yeah, they don't drink coffee yet, they're very young, but he said, you know, they'll get their strawberry milk. That's a latte for them. He did tell me he's working on his latte art. That was why we didn't give you a little peek inside my cup.
I was
Because
gonna say,
I had no latte.
Did you
art
pick it up?
tonight.
I want to see a
No,
barista
I did
roll
not.
too. You did well, Dana. Great story. Really awesome.